Hey guys, it's RodimusPrimal. I'm back with another video, and today I have got some Transformers news about some toy reveals for some exclusives that were once only available in Japan and are now coming to the States, as well as a studio series that I know a lot of movie fans are looking forward to. Of course, got a lot to talk about, so sit back, relax, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and let's transform and roll out. Consider supporting the channel on Patreon, becoming a channel member, or purchasing some merch on my Teespring store today. Okay, so the first bit of Transformers news I want to talk to you guys about is to do with some stock images that have been shown for the upcoming Studio Series 86, as well as some Kingdom stuff. And this stuff I had already talked about in a live stream, but taking a closer look at a lot of these images is just, you really get to see how awesome these new toys look, especially Hot Rod and Jazz, like Jazz especially, because I'm really excited for Jazz over all of them, because he's deserved a better toy for quite some time. Some people are really digging Cup. I'm kind of on the fence about him. I kind of like the idea of like being able to pull him apart and being able to put him back together. His vehicle mode does look decent though. As for the Kingdom toys, now this is where we get to see how awesome a lot of these upcoming Kingdom toys are. We get to see a lot more of their posability. Megatron in particular, we had not been able to see that he had a fist behind like the tail. That was something that I had talked about in the live stream. A lot of the official images did not have. And you get to see a lot more of his posability. So you get to see like he has like a blast effects ability there coming out of his T-Rex mouth, and he has like the regular fist. The only thing is that I think they're using an early prototype, you know, with the incorrect plastics that they're going to use, because I really don't like the fact that they're using the red paint on his face and the like this nasty looking purple. They really should be a deeper, darker purple on his chest and on his face. So I think they just did this. This was like just for like the stock images, but even so, it's like, come on, it's kind of the same thing with the gray-fisted Optimus Prime for the Earthrise toy, and he ended up having blue fists, you know, at the end of the day. So I think this is kind of like the same thing. They haven't like finalized the colors for him. But Black Arachnia, I gotta say, she looks phenomenal. I was on the fence initially about the black legs, but when I looked it up, an actual Black Widow spider does have black legs. So it is accurate to the spider mode, so I'm perfectly fine with it. And her robot mode looks amazing, like absolutely stunning. Like this is, you know, you got the Masterpiece toy of her that's available, but to get like an affordable version of Black Arachnia that looks like the character, has the, you know, is not just a tarantulas repaint and matches an actual spider. I'm hoping we get a tarantulas out of this line as well, but this Black Arachnia looks phenomenal. And now the next big reveal that was shown this morning was the fact that they are releasing in the US. I think you might be able to get it from online retailers, I think outside of the US, but you can get your hands on these Golden Lagoon Transformers. They were originally only released in Japan, and what they did is that they painted them gold or used a gold plastic that does not suffer from gold plastic syndrome. But the toys that they are using, some fans are kind of like a little wary on. I mean, they are older toys at this point, but to get them in a Golden Lagoon deco. Now, if you're not familiar with the G1 cartoon episode Golden Lagoon, Beachcomber, who is one of the characters in this set, found a pool full of Electrum, which coats you temporarily in this gold filament that makes you indestructible for a short amount of time. So the Decepticons all find it, they dip themselves in it, and then, you know, the Autobots get beat up by the Decepticons, and then they have to end up getting, you know, themselves coated by the same stuff, by the Electrum. Which I'm guessing it's a rare material outside of Earth, because the fact that it was like in this pool somewhere, I believe Electrum actually is a real element on the periodic table. But it was kind of one of those cool one-off episodes, and it was a spotlight for Beachcomber, for Sea Spray, and Perceptor, who were like the star Autobots of that. And so they're taking the Titans Return molds of those three characters. Like I said, they already released these in Japan, I think about 2 years ago. So now you're able to get your hands on them if you missed out on it and you wanted the Golden Lagoon versions of them. They're also doing Soundwave in this deco, which again is the Titans Return, as well as MP10 for Optimus Prime. I do wish that they had used the Earthrise Optimus, which, by the way, if you guys want me to do a toy review of my customized Earthrise Optimus, of course, leave your thoughts in the comment section. But this is the MP10 that they are once again using for another mold, but it's going to be in all gold plastic. And they're also using the redeco for Starscream. Now, I saw some fans getting real upset about this one because it's a skydive redeco, from Combiner Wars, that they had done in clear plastic. I'm going to bring it up here on the screen here. That came with Grand Galvatron, and he came with Grand Galvatron. It was all clear plastic, and then they released that same redeco in this gold-plated colored scheme for the Electrum. And to me, it only works. I mean, the head works as far as Starscream is concerned, but it doesn't really work as one of the Seekers. But at the same time, I understand where they were going with it. The whole reason why they did what they did with Grand Galvatron was that Starscream was still a ghost, and Unicron kind of gave him a temporary body that could combine with Cyclonus to become Grand Galvatron, which was Galvatron 2 from another universe, who was like sitting inside Cyclonus's chest. It was one of the most ridiculous manga series, but and I did cover it a little bit in my Galvatron retrospective, but that was what the toy was initially. And then again, they recolored it in gold because I guess they didn't want to use that terrible Power of the Primes, mold for Starscream, but it would have fit the character a little bit better. Taking a look at their vehicle modes are okay. I mean, I like the molds themselves. To me, the gold doesn't really make a difference as much because what is it? It's just the toy again in gold color, and it's a matter if you want to like relive those scenes and have that whole adventure happen on with your collection. But it is a cool like one-off idea, and that's basically what it is. And the next big announcement that a lot of people are really excited for is the fact that they are releasing the Bumblebee Studio Series Blitzwing completely remolded into Cybertronian Starscream. Now, if you guys probably can notice over there, I have my Tetrajets over there from the Siege toy line, but the Tetrajets of the Bumblebee movie were slightly different. They had a little bit more live action aesthetic to them, so there were a lot more mechanical parts, and the robot modes for the Seekers on Cybertron resembled the Blitzwing of that particular movie. And so here, remolding it to actually be Starscream is a really good idea. And here's the thing: this redeco is not just a straight redeco. He is like remolded in a lot of places. In fact, here he is in his Cybertronian Tetrajet mode, and he looks fantastic. I mean, if you were a really big fan of the Bumblebee movie, and I know a lot of people who are fans of G1, people who are fans of the live action films, they loved the Bumblebee movie, especially the opening sequence where they had all these Cybertronian Seekers and Cybertronian mode Transformers fighting each other, and to actually get Starscream is awesome in and of itself. Now, what you probably are thinking is that they are most likely going to use this new remold in the future for many more Seekers to come. So I wouldn't be surprised if you're going to end up seeing this Seeker of Starscream redecoed into Thundercracker and Skywarp and the green one, whatever they decide to name that particular character, or if it's Acid Storm, or if it's Nacelle or Bitstream or whatever characters they decide to use, you could have so many redecos of this particular mold, and it's actually really, really cool for fans who want something a little bit more detailed than the Siege mold. But that's really a matter of personal preference. I really like the Siege mold myself. I think this is really good for fans who like the mold for the studio series, and at the end of the day, it's cool for fans all around. But I know what you guys think of this Transformers news, of course, but leave your thoughts in the comment section below, and be sure to thumbs up this video and subscribe, and check out my other videos as well. Consider supporting the channel, of course, on Patreon or becoming a channel member, and you can also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and I have many more Transformers videos coming down the pipeline, so stay tuned for all that. And as always, guys, until next time, till all are one.